Good morning, good morning, good morning, faithful. It is your boy, Niners Sickness, with the Niners Sickness podcast, coming to your early morning on a Friday. How's everybody doing today? Hope all is well. Hope everyone is having a wonderful Friday, getting ready for the weekend. The weekend's about to start. This is the off season, of course, and we're going to talk a little bit of free agency going into the combine starts next week. I don't know how many of you are into the combine. I don't know how many of you guys enjoy the combine or not, but the combine starts next week, and then we're going to start getting into the free agency. This is going to start going in a little bit faster now. And we're going to talk about potential players that we should re-sign and those that possibly we may lose, and who are they going to be replaced by? Are the 49ers going to be better off after free agency or better in free agency? Those are the things we're going to talk about. How's everybody doing today? Good morning, Mr. Bob Jones. Woo woo, go Niners. What's up, brother? How you doing, man? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. How are you doing today? Give me a second real quick. A little bit smaller. There we go. How are you doing today? Hope you're doing fine. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good morning, my friend Leslie. How you doing, Leslie? Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the podcast. Well, look who is up early. Okay, one question. Have we signed Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers, or will Joe Montana come out of retirement? That is the $1 million question, Leslie. Will Joe Montana come out of retirement? You know, I'll be willing to entertain the Joe Montana coming out of retirement more than I will the Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady for myself. It's the off season. People are going to speculate. You're going to get people to speculate. People are going to talk about should Brady come to the Niners? Should it be Aaron Rodgers? Can Trey Lance handle the Niners' workload this year? Will they be ready? Is Trey Lance ready? Is he not ready? And everybody's going through all this, hearsay, she say about Trey Lance and who should be brought in. And this is what I want to let you guys know. It's my perspective is this. It is late February. We're getting into the combine. We're going to get into free agency and then the draft. This is the time where you're going to hear rumors. This is the time you're going to hear this, that, and it's all going to be tied to the 49ers. Dante Flowers got released by Atlanta Falcons. That got tied to the Niners. Should the Niners go after him? And this is the time of the year where a lot of the things that are happening are going to be said. We got to take it with a grain of salt. We got to wait to see what happens in free agency. We got to wait and see what happens in the draft. And then we got to determine whether is Jimmy G going to be traded? Are the Niners going to restructure him and keep him another year? What are the Niners going to do? I know there's a lot of Niner faithful that they don't want Jimmy to come back. I am one of them. Only the fact is that $26 million needs to be used towards Debo and Bosa. But the reality is that there's a possibility that John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan can go up to Jed York and talk to him and say, hey, maybe Trey Lance isn't ready. Maybe we have another shot with Jimmy. I'm not saying that's what I want to happen or what's going to happen, but the possibility is there. But a lot of those things that are happening, I personally myself, if you ask me, Jimmy will be traded. Where he goes for what draft pick, we'll find out. But I don't think the Niners bring back Jimmy to this squad, personally. Good morning, JBX is in the house. How you doing, sir? Good morning, good morning. By the way, your jersey went out yesterday. Yesterday morning, your jersey went out. So you should be getting it somewhere. I'll email you the tracking number. And you should be getting it hopefully Monday or Tuesday. But it went out, my brother. What's up, Willow? How you doing? Good morning. Good morning, sir. Julio. Good morning, Julio. I remember now. Good morning. Good morning. Bigfoot's mom. Good morning. Hey, Beto. It's your boy, Bigfoot. What's up? What's up? How you doing, sir? Welcome to the stream. Leslie says, seriously, I have a great deal of trust in Parag Marte having the ability to restructure contracts and give us the ability to sign the free agents that we need. Absolutely. He's done it before, and there's no reason to believe that he won't do it again. It's just a matter of what the Niners want. What does John Lynch want? What does Kyle want? And he'll go from there. Good morning, Lakers. 49ers Lakers for life. Good morning, sir. Good morning. How you doing? Lance is the starter, period. We need more Mariota as a backup. Now, I've been hearing a lot about the Mariota coming to the Niners as a backup. I don't know if he's a good fit. I think Tayron Taylor. I'm probably butchering his name, but I think he's more familiar with Anthony Lynn. Anthony Lynn's more familiar with him, and I think a great backup would be him. Mariota is going to cost us a little bit more than what people think. He's not going to be on that special that the Raiders paid for when the Raiders picked him up. I think he's valued a little bit more. I think we can get the other guy a little bit cheaper, in my opinion. But we're definitely going to need a backup to back up Trey, because I believe that Trey will be the one starting week 1 in the 2022 season. Let's get Devontae. No, we don't need Devontae Adams, bro. See, it's exciting to hear these names, out there. Devontae Adams, this player, that player. But realistically, you got to look at the cap space. Okay, it's not necessarily what we want. It's what we can afford to pay. As it is, we got to figure out a way where we're going to pay Debo and possibly Bosa. And then I'm going to talk about all these free agents that are going to be available to re-sign. And one of them is going to be Lincoln Thomason that we're going to talk about. And the other one is going to be DJ Jones. And Lincoln is going to require, whether the Niners pay it or not, I don't know. But Lincoln is going to require at least somewhere between the 12 to 13 mil per year. And if the Niners don't pay that, I'm pretty sure someone like the Miami Dolphins could pay that. There's other teams that need offensive help. And personally, I think it's going to be so vital to bring back Lincoln. I know people say, wow, we can replace him. But the reality is you have that left side taken care of. You got the big man, Trent Williams at the left. If you can re-sign and bring back Lincoln, you have him taking care of the left guard. We don't know if Alex Mack is going to retire. I don't know if he's coming back. We got to figure out what's going to happen there. And then on the right side, with the whole McClinchy, is he going to be able to come back from injury? Is it going to be Tom Compton? Are we going to bring him back as he is a free agent? I'm not comfortable with Daniel Brunskill at right guard. So we're definitely going to have to work on the right side. If we can keep the left side intact, it's a little bit easier for us than trying to have to revamp the whole offensive line. And my so back to your point of at Davante Adams. Although it sounds like he's a great receiver, it would be nice to have him, but the Niners can't afford him. That's just the reality. The Niners can't afford to bring in Davante Adams and pay him that amount of money, where you're going to pay Debo and possibly Nick Bosa this offseason. So those are the things we have to consider when we mention these names. Like, a lot of people are tying Aaron Rodgers. Did you know that Aaron Rodgers is making the same amount of money that you got Tom Brady and Jimmy Garoppolo put together? What you're going to pay Aaron Rodgers, you can bring Tom Brady and Jimmy G. And a lot of people are like, you know what? We can bring in Aaron Rodgers, man, Davante Adams. But the reality is, we're trying to get rid of Jimmy. A, because he's not that good. B, because he's demanding $26 million. You're going to get rid of $26 million and then bring someone in for $46 million? That, my friends, doesn't make sense. So even though we want these players to come in and we get excited as 49ers, and man, this player, that, you have to use common sense and realize it's not about what we want. It's what can we afford to bring in. And trust me, Davante Adams is not someone we can afford. I would love to have Davante Adams. I think Davante Adams in this offense would be amazing with Trey. But we can't afford him. Good morning, David Williams. How you doing, sir? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. Everyone's watching, make sure to hit the like button for me. Like I like to say it real quick. Please wipe your feet before entering and smash that like button for your boy, Niner Sickness. JBXYN49 says, a possibility bold prediction. Jimmy G signs a 3-year extension to allocate his salary cap and most likely decides his fate next offseason. If for whatever reason they do decide to bring in or keep Jimmy Garoppolo, I don't think it's going to be for 3 years, maybe for 2 years, so they can work out his contract with the possibility of trading him next year. But then my question is this: are you holding back the development of Trey Lance? No quarterback is going to be truly ready to play football until they play. I say this and I'll say it again. Nobody really is ready to drive a car for the first time until you get behind the wheel. Get used to the car, get used to the feeling, get used to all the vehicles around you. Drive every day. As you get more better at it, you become a better driver. I oppose the same thing with Trey Lance. He can only learn so much being on the sideline. I think this would be a great opportunity to put him out there and let him take his bumps and bruises and see what happens. We'll have around 38 to 40 million in cap money. Trade Jimmy, redo Armstead and Ward's deal, and we are in good spot. Now, keep in mind, Ward and Armstead would have to agree first and foremost for that to happen. I can see that happening, though. I can see the Niners going up to Eric Armstead and redoing his contract, and the same thing with Ward. I would not be opposed to that. Would not be opposed to it. I think that's actually be a great way to produce more money so that we can sign a lot of our free agents and make a run for Debo and Bosa. So I agree. Will it happen? I don't know. But I would think this re-signing, redoing, and Ward and Armstead would be a great effort if they can get it done. What's up, David Williams? How you doing, sir? Julio says, maybe a D-back. We're going to sign Williams. Tart, I hope. I would love to bring Tart back. This is why I would like Tart back. I don't think he's going to demand that much in free agency. We have two. We have Emmanuel Mosley. Okay, we have him a little bit of a vet, but we have a young, upcoming corner in Embry Thomas. We're probably going to lose K'Wan Williams, and we're probably going to put Lenore in the slot. So you want to have some type of veteran presence, at least in your safeties. If you can have Jimmy Ward and Tart as your safeties, then you're able to maneuver a little bit more with your rookies on the cornerback side. And I think this is why it'll be smart for the Niners to try to bring in Tart back. He's not a bad player, guys. I'm not saying you guys are saying he's bad, but for those that think he's not good, is he a ball hawk? No. Does he get a lot of interceptions? No. But the guy can play football, man. And I think Jimmy Ward, especially Jimmy Ward, is very underrated. And Tart, to some extent, is underrated as well. Don't let the mishap of him dropping that ball in the NFC Championship kind of deteriorate away from wanting to bring him back. Because if we lose him, who are we going to replace him with? Hufanga is not ready, in my opinion. As much as the young kid played this year, as much as he did some things here and there, I personally don't think that he's ready to start in the NFL. So if we do lose Tart, who do we bring in as replacement? I just rather just keep Tart. He already knows the secondary. He knows the defense. He's familiar with D'Amico Ryans. And him and Jimmy Ward can do their thing, and we can focus on continue to develop Embry Thomas and Lenore. And if we draft some more corners and in the draft, we can develop them as well. That's just my thought. Let's see here. I think we get a second and fifth for Jimmy. I think Washington or Indy. Indianapolis is the Colts are a very intriguing spot for me. I think that'll be a win-win situation for the Niners and for Jimmy G. At the end of the day, the question that I ask, are the Niners going to look out for themselves first and foremost? Or are they going to feel obligated to kind of, Jimmy has been nothing but a gentleman. Jimmy has been nothing but a professional during his time in San Francisco. Jimmy hasn't complained. Jimmy hasn't, he has done everything he's been told and beyond. So my question is this. Will John Lynch and Kyle sacrifice a higher pick to send Jimmy where Jimmy wants to go as a favor to him because they feel like Jimmy has done right by the team and they want to do right by him? Or at the end of the day, John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan says, listen, we respect you, we appreciate you, and we hope we get you a place where you want to be, but at the end of the day, it is about what we get in return for you. So in the comments, I would like to hear from you. Do the Niners take the best offer on the table for Jimmy? Or do they kind of unless somebody offers a number one, I think the Niners like, Jimmy, we love you, but, you got to go. But if it's for a second or a third, do you think the Niners might kind of take a lesser value for Jimmy for the fact that Jimmy wants to go somewhere? That's an interesting question, and I would love for you guys to answer that. Cornerback, okay. What's up, Mike H? How you doing, Beto? It's 9:20 on Friday. I am at work. I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a food for thought here. I'm still awake. I haven't went to sleep yet. I've been up since last night, so I'm a night owl. I stay up all night. Normally, I go to bed about 7 in the morning. I go to bed about 8 o'clock, and then today I woke up at 4:30 in the afternoon. So I've been up since 4:30 on Thursday afternoon. So I haven't slept I might stay up for the rest of the day, or I might go to bed after this. So a lot of people are like, "What are you doing up this early?" Well, it's still night for me. um, David Williams says just got here about Jimmy G trade to Pittsburgh for a fourth this year and a fourth next year. Could be a two link. Now, Pittsburgh is another intriguing place that I can see Jimmy going. I can see Jimmy going to the Pittsburgh Steelers too. David Williams says for a fourth this year and a possible fourth next year. Now, could it be a fourth this year and a possible fourth? They can probably turn into a third or a second next year, David, possibly. Good morning to my boy, Pale Time, the LA Rams YouTuber. What's up, brother? How you doing, sir? I don't know if you're still on cloud nine, if you're still enjoying the weather, if you're enjoying the whole parade about your Niners. Your Rams winning the Super Bowl. Have you come down from cloud nine, or are you still there? And if you're there, hey, it's okay, man. It's not every year that we win the Super Bowl, so you stay up there as long as you want, brother. Welcome to the stream, brother. Good to see you. Praising the Lord on this fantastic Friday. Absolutely. Praise the Lord. That's right. Speaking of cap, Davante Adams, did you hear Aaron Rodgers wants a new deal worth about $50 million per year? Adams and Aaron Jones gonna need new contracts soon. Yet Aaron wants $50 million. Yeah. Aaron's all about it. This is the thing about Aaron. That's typical Aaron. Let's keep it real. That is typical Aaron. It's all about Aaron and not about the team. Aaron is the complete opposite of Tom Brady. Tom Brady will be willing to take a discount for the team so they have a chance to make the Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers will be like, nope. It's all about what can you pay me. So that doesn't surprise me one bit there. I'm not bringing back Mike McGlinchey. He don't work with Trey being the starting quarterback. Well, let's see. I understand people don't like Mike McGlinchey. They have their reservations for Mike. That's fine. But Mike is a great run defender. Not so well in the past. If Trey Lance is going to maneuver back there a little bit with his legs, I can understand the concern that you need to protect him from getting hit, and you need a pass protector better than a run protector. But I ask you this, Bigfoot's mom. If we don't bring back Mike McGlinchey, who do we replace him with? I'm okay with, if we don't re-sign somebody, I'm okay. But I also want to know, who will the Niners bring back to replace him? Because if you tell me we're going to ride with Tom Compton one more year over Mike, hell no. I'd rather go with Mike than Tom Compton. Now, if you bring someone better than Mike, then we're talking. But until that point, Mike is our best tackle. And he's not a bad tackle. You know, I know a lot of people are frustrated with him, but he's not a bad tackle. PFF actually grades him pretty high amongst all right tackles. Does he get blown off the line? Yes. Does he get pushed back? Yes. Is he too tall? I think he is. I like my tackles more down to the ground, but you know, unless you can mention someone better than him, I'd rather stick with him. I'm not going to want to stick with Tom Compton for another year, at least not as a starter. All right, Leslie, have a wonderful, blessed day. Enjoy your day at work, and don't work too hard. I still need a jersey, Beto. I can't get a hold of you. Bigfoot's mom. Unless you're trying to get a hold of me on a completely different name, I haven't seen no emails or any messages from that name, Bigfoot mom. So, unless you mention you're trying to get a hold of me through a whole different name, let me know what name you're using so I can keep an eye out for it. What's up, youngster? How you doing, sir? What's up? What's up, young man? What's up, sickness? Hope I could collaborate with you sometime. Yeah, we're definitely going to work it together, bro. I will reach out to you on Twitter, and we'll work something out for sure. Thank you. Thank you for wiping your feet. Tart helped an old pro Fred read coverages. Yeah, I like Tart. I really do. Question: are there any positions you hope the Niners address in free agency and over the draft? Yeah. First priority in free agency, I hope the Niners can address left guard. The Niners need to address left guard. And who do I mean by left guard is re-signing Lincoln Thomason. I've always been a type of fan that priority should always be re-signing your own players. I understand that as a fan, we may want to watch new players come into our team, bring these names from other teams to help our team and the excitement of that. But I rather re-sign our free agents first and not sign nobody from free agency than lose our free agents. So to answer your question, Pale Time, it will be left guard. It will be my concern to re-sign Lincoln Thomason and also DJ Jones on defense. And hopefully we can have a conversation with Arden Key. I hope Arden Key understands that he didn't do anything coming out of college with the Raiders. He came under Chris Kacerek. Chris Kacerek was able to coach him up, and he's been more productive in his pro career this offseason than he has been since he came out. Hopefully, he's smart enough to take 2 more years with the Niners, develop his skill set a little bit more, and then within 2 years, we can revisit whether we give him a bigger contract or he goes somewhere else. If he's smart, he will stay with us and work and continue to develop his skill set under Chris Kacerek. But if he chases the money, I can't blame him, but we'll have to wait and see. Julio says, all right, Beto, on vacation here at Central America. Talk to you later, man. All right, brother. Peace. Have a wonderful day, brother. Enjoy your day and have fun on your vacation. Oh, I am still on cloud 9,000. I'll be here all off. Yeah, I can't imagine you would be. If I'm not mistaken, this is the first Super Bowl that you probably celebrated with your Rams. I don't know if in 1999 or what was the last time the Rams won the Super Bowl? Maybe you saw that on TV because they were in St. Louis, but it's very understandable why you'll be on cloud 9 to this point. Well, I know that you I don't know if you're going to bring back Miller. Is Miller going to come back? Is he going to want more money? Is OBJ going to come back? So there's some questions there. Like I know your core. You have a young running back, which is good. You have a young receiver in Cooper Kupp. We don't know if Aaron Donald is going to retire. I know a lot of players say they're going to retire and then they don't. So your offseason is going to be pretty interesting for you guys to watch as well. Okay. So you became a Rams fan in the first Super Bowl. Got you. No worries, brother. So, the Niners, they have a few free agents that they need to re-sign. They got Trent Cannon, special team guy, running back, but we utilize him in special teams. He got hurt, and the Seahawks game hasn't kind of been the same. I don't think he'll be much to bring back. I can see us re-signing him. And then you got offensive tackle Tom Compton. Compton filled in for the right tackle following. Give me a second. Following the season injury for Mike McClinchy, quicep in week 9, Compton went on to appear in 20 games and made 10 starts, postseason included. Then you got tight end Ross Diwali. In his 4th season in San Francisco, Diwali appeared in all 17 regular season contests and 3 postseason matchups. The tight end caught 4 of his 5 targets while averaging 12.8 yards per reception and caught a touchdown on that year. I'm not really that high on Ross Diwali. Since we have Warner, and Charlie Warner, to me, has impressed me better as a backup to Kittle. Whether I would love to bring back Ross Diwali, but it definitely would not be a priority. And then this is a player that I would like to bring back as a backup linebacker, Marcel Harris. Marcel Harris was a safety that was converted to linebacker. He actually did impress me a little bit as a linebacker, and hopefully they will be able to bring him back. In his first season as linebacker, Harris stepped in at various points and appeared in 10 games, including the postseason, and made 1 start. He notched an interception, sack, a quarterback hit, 44 tackles, 2 for loss, and a pass defended. He's not that bad. I think they can bring him back at a pretty good price. Now, this guy here, I'm not too key on. We brought him in because he's a big body. Hopefully he can stop the run. Hopefully he'll penetrate the middle and help us stop the run. But Maurice Hurst, we signed him. He got hurt. He stayed hurt for the majority of the season. I wasn't too impressed with Maurice Hurst, so I don't even expect the Niners to make a run for him at all. I think he'll go somewhere else and try his luck there. I think we did fine without him, in my opinion. Then we got receiver Richie James. After suffering a knee injury during preseason, James reached an injury settlement with the Niners and remained on their injured reserve list. Should the Niners bring him back? Has Richie James impressed you guys at all? Has he done enough for you to say, you know what? Let's give him another shot. Or have you guys seen, the faithful, have you guys seen enough of Richie James to the point where you're like, you know what? He gets hurt too much, and when he's not hurt, he doesn't play to par. I can deal without him. That is the question that I would like to ask you guys real quick. Let's see here. David says, I get the bad snowstorm here in Pittsfield, Massachusetts. We have 10 inches now. What? My goodness. I would not be able to enjoy living in the snow. The fact that you got to sit there and for an hour just digging your car out from the snow in order to go to work would be a bit too much for me. Good morning, Amin the Dream. Welcome to the show, brother. How you doing? What's up, Niner Sickness? How are you doing this morning? Go A's. Right on, brother. Thank you. Appreciate that. On a Jimmy G trade, the best offer we offer may not be to a winning situation like what Jimmy requested. The thing is, will we do Jimmy bad by sending him to a team like Washington? And that was the question that I earlier posed to everybody, whether will John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan show loyalty to Jimmy G and out of respect to him because of the class act that Jimmy has. Because Jimmy G, whether you like him or not, whether you think he's a good quarterback or not, he has done everything right, at least in a sense of attitude, where he hasn't been a distraction. He's been positive to the young man, Trey. He's a player's favorite quarterback. Everybody loves him. Do the Niners trade Jimmy where Jimmy wants to go, even if it's for a lesser value trade than they would normally get somewhere else? That would be interesting to see, in my opinion. What's up, David Menu? Good morning, sir. Hi, Beto. I wipe my feet. Thank you, sir. I am at work, so I can listen right on. Normally, I don't go on this early. I go on late. I'm a night owl, so I've been up since 4:30 p.m. yesterday, Thursday night, or evening, or afternoon, and I haven't slept yet. But normally about 7 o'clock in the morning, I go to bed about 7, 8 o'clock. But by that time, I'm kind of like, my eyes are closed. I'm falling asleep. So I never dared to go live that early because I don't want to come on here and just talk for it. And I'm kind of like, I'm falling asleep on you guys. So, but I don't feel tired this morning. I don't feel tired. I feel good. Drinking coffee, which I shouldn't do. But I don't feel tired. So I say, you know what? Let me give this a try and talk to the faithful this morning. Remember, New England did Jimmy G good by trading him to us for a second versus the Browns, who offered a first. Yeah, so, that's a very good point, Johnny. Listen, that within itself shows. We know, as Niner faithful, we know why the Patriots did what they did, right? Look at the way Jimmy has been since he's been here with the Niners, since day one. Respectful, helpful, doesn't complain, a competitor. He's hurt and he plays. The players love him. So now I can understand why New England, and I don't recall this, but I'm going to believe you, that New England traded him to us for a 2 instead of the Browns for a 1. Now I can see why the Pats did that, because the loyalty that Jimmy is, the kind of person Jimmy is. So now, will the Niners do the same? Will the Niners do the same? That is the $1 million question. Will the Niners do the same? So going back to the free agents, we have, give me a second real quick. We have cornerback Dante Johnson. Johnson appeared in 19 games for San Francisco, postseason included, and made 3 starts. The Niners rotation at cornerback. The veteran corner notched 30 tackles, 2 pass defense, and a forced fumble, and 2 fumble recoveries. Now, I was never key on Dante Johnson. I was always like, oh my God, will the Niners ever get rid of this guy? What do they see in Dante Johnson? Terrible, right? But I don't know about you, but he kind of won me over this year, and a little bit in 2020 as well. He has started to win me over. Is he a starter? Absolutely not. But he's a good backup at cornerback. I don't know if he just started eating his Wheaties or what Dante Johnson has done, but he's gotten better. So for a good price, not too much, if nobody else offers him anything, I would love to see Dante Johnson to come back as a backup to Emmanuel Mosley and Avery Thomas. Now, this guy right here, DJ Jones, the San Francisco nose tackle, appeared in each game for the San Francisco 49ers in 2021 and notched 2 sacks, 3 quarterback hits, a career high of 56 total tackles, 2 forced fumbles, and a pass defended. I like DJ Jones. I like DJ Jones from day one. I like him when he came out, a 6th-round pick. Little by little, he began to develop, and he's gotten better and better. The kid doesn't start all the time. He's brought in. I forgot the percentage of that he played this year, but he has impressed me. I am impressed. I love how Eric Armstead and DJ Jones can able to stop the run. Ever since we moved Eric Armstead to the inside and DJ Jones played more, we were able to get better against the run. I understand Javon Kinlaw is coming back from injury. Now, Javon Kinlaw was drafted and normally plays the 3 technique, right? He plays the 3 technique position. But as you all know, I believe it started at the Bears game. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the Niners decided to move Eric Armstead to the 3 technique spot at the Bears game, and he's done very, very well. So the question is this: Javon Kinlaw, when he comes back, do we bring him back to the 3 tech, or do we move Armstead back to the outside, or do we keep Eric Armstead at that 3 tech and we move Javon Kinlaw to nose tackle? It's just a thought. Now, I understand we drafted Javon Kinlaw high not to be a nose tackle. But if we put him, he's a big boy. Could we put him at nose tackle, rotate him and DJ Jones back and forth, and have Eric Armstead keep his spot? And then you have Nick Bosa, and then we'll decide whether we keep what we have or we bring in some extra help on the outside. But that's just my food for thought when Javon Kinlaw comes back, especially if we don't sign DJ Jones. Would it be wise to keep Eric Armstead at the 3 tech and move Javon Kinlaw to the nose tackle? Let me know in the comments what your thought about that. And then we have Arden Key. I spoke a little bit about Arden Key, how I think he should come back under Chris Kocurek. He had his best year. Key appeared in all 17 regular season contests and 3 postseason games. In his first year in San Francisco, he was second on the team behind Nick Bosa with 6.5 sacks. Per PFF, Key reached a 79.4 pass rush grade and had 36 quarterback pressures, were his career high. So this resume right here can definitely get him paid somewhere else. What he did in 2021 could be a payday for Arden Key. And I wouldn't blame him if he took the money. You got to think about your future. You got to think about your family. But I just think the smart thing for him would be to sign a 2-year contract, 2 or 3 year contract, continue to develop your skill set under Chris Kocurek, and become more of a monster. And at that point, we can decide whether we give you a bigger contract and keep you, or you move on. Those are the what I would like for him. Hopefully he stays. Hopefully he resigns. And then you have running back Rahim Mostert. I know this kid gets hurt. I know he gets hurt often. Rahim Mostert, it's like, man, is he going to get hurt? Is he going to play? What's happening with Rahim Mostert? But let's be honest. When Rahim Mostert is healthy, when he's healthy, the guy is explosive. He is explosive off the line. Imagine the possibilities of Rahim Mostert paired with Elijah Mitchell. I don't know what's going to happen with Trey Sermon. I don't know if Trey Sermon is going to work out or not. We're going to have to wait and see. But we have an idea already what Elijah Mitchell has been and will be going forward. So imagine pairing Rahim Mostert with Elijah Mitchell. And hopefully we re-sign Jeff Wilson Jr. I think that'll be a nice fit. Now, I know the concern. I know the concern of Rahim always getting hurt. I know that there's that concern. And you wouldn't be wrong. But I just think that if we can, Rahim Mostert is not going to get a big contract out there. He missed the whole year. He's 31 years of age. I think we can bring him back on a team-friendly deal. He likes running in Shanahan's system. We brought in Anthony Lynn, and I know he has to like that. So imagine the possibilities of having Rahim Mostert pair up with Elijah Mitchell in the backfield. And then you have Debo doing Debo stuff with Kittle, Ayuk. Now with Trey, this offense could be explosive. I'm going to talk about this player like that. I don't want to talk about him too long. We will not, should not, hopefully we do not bring back Josh, I grab you too much, Norman. I hope the Niners do not bring him back. Senior Nara, Josh, I get penalized every time I hold Norman. I do not want to see this guy back, man. I really, really don't. Let's see here. What's up, Jay Jones? Welcome to the stream, bro. He's the scariest player in the league. Exactly, bro. 906, exactly. I'll be scared of having to play him. He's not a quarterback, so he can possibly be traded in our division. Now you piqued my interest here a little bit. I'd be scared having to play him. He's not a quarterback, so he can possibly be traded in our division. Who exactly are you talking about, real quick? Are we talking about Rahim Mostert? Real quick, Jay. Let me know who we're talking about. I kind of lost a little bit of who that player is. Josh was out there playing disaster ball. Yeah. I don't want to bring Josh back. I don't think they'll bring him back. I think that they brought him in out of necessity because Avery Thomas wasn't developed quite yet. Emmanuel Mosley was hurt. We lost Jason Verrett. So it was a little bit more of not desperation, but of need that they brought in Josh Norman. But I don't think he'll be back. Okay, that's kind of what I thought. But I wasn't sure. So I wanted to make sure that we were on the same page there, Jay. But picked up, not traded. Interesting. What do you think his value would be? You know, he's 31. I think he'll be going on 32. If I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong. He's coming off an injury. What do you think his value will be out in the market? Do you think he tests his value Do you think he's smart enough to say, you know what, my best chance is with San Francisco? I like Rahim Mostert. He's a home run hitter. It's just he scares me because you don't know if he's going to get hurt or not. One hit, two hits, and he's hurt. And that's a little bit of a downside if we're talking about Rahim Mostert. All right, moving on. Receiver, Mohamed Sanu Sr. I don't know about your guys' thoughts. I like the veteran part of Sanu. He's a veteran. I like what he brought in. But now that Debo has found, Debo knows who he is. He found his niche. Debo found his niche. He's our number one receiver, or wideback, as he likes to call it himself. And then you have Brandon Ayuk, which I personally think under Trey Lance, Ayuk is going to have a great breakout season. That's just me. I think Brandon Ayuk is going to have a breakout season. Watch out for Brandon Ayuk, man. 2021 was Debo's breakout season. I expect 2022 to be Ayuk's breakout season. So with that said, do we need to bring back Mohamed Sanu? I like what Juwan Jennings did. Juwan Jennings is a free agent, but I know they'll re-sign him. I don't think anybody else is going to really pay too much for his services. So I can see us bringing back Juwan Jennings on a serviceable contract. And I'm ready to move on from Mohamed Sanu. But let me know in the comments what your thoughts on Mohamed Sanu. Should we bring him back or should we just let him go? Enjoying a little bit of coffee with my Niner Sickness coffee mug. Little chanate. And okay, so now we have this receiver. Now, this receiver here, he shows spurts. He didn't do enough to overwhelm me. I don't think he did enough. Now, was it a lot that Jimmy didn't trust him? Was it anything that maybe Kyle didn't trust him? But I don't know. He kind of impressed me a little bit, but then he kind of fell away. And the player that I'm talking about is Trent Sherfield, receiver. Trent Sherfield. I mean, in his first season in San Francisco, Sherfield appeared in every game with the Niners and caught 9 receptions for 87 yards and a touchdown. He also played 43% of special team snaps. I want to know your guy. I want to know you, the faithful. What is your thoughts on Trent Sherfield? Should the Niners bring him back on a freely contract, or should they just move on from him? Did he do enough for you, the faithful, to say, you know what, let's bring him back on a friendly contract? Or he did not do enough where you're like, no, you know what, we can draft a receiver or we can bring someone else and give them a try? I'm curious to see your guys' thought on that. $1 million a year. He loves the team, so I know he'll take the deal. Yeah, I think Rahim Mostert will definitely stay with us. Absolutely agree with you there, Jay. Prove it deal with us. He's a fantastic in Shanahan's system. And also, bringing in Anthony Lynn should help him out as well, in my opinion. Let's see here. With the progression of JJ, I think Sanu will not be returning next season. Yeah, I like what Juwan Jennings did, personally, myself, Johnny. I think Juwan Jennings did enough to impress me that he's only getting better. I mean, the kid is a 7th-round pick out of Tennessee. He has slowly but surely climbed up the depth chart, and now he's our 3rd receiver. The kid has got us some great first downs. I think he'll get better. Do I expect to see an 800, 900 yard season? Probably not. I think, this is me, I think for Juwan Jennings, 450 yards, 6 touchdowns, I think that's pretty decent. 450, between 5 and 6 touchdowns. I think that'll be serviceable from him helping out the Niners, in my opinion. Niner Faithful, what's up, brother? Make sure to hit the like button for me. Like I like to tell everyone, please smash. Please wipe your feet by smashing the like button. Appreciate that. Let me read your comment real quick. Sanu is okay, but I'll tell him to walk. I hear you. I hear you, bro. I'll bring Trent back as a backup just because Trey has chemistry with him. That is true. That's a very good point, Niner Faithful. There is a connection between him and Trey. And if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong. Usually am. But wasn't Trent Sherfield the first receiver to catch Trent Lance's first touchdown against Detroit? So I see the chemistry. So you make a valid point when it comes to chemistry. All right, so let's talk about a couple more players real quick. We have Tenerius. I can never pronounce Tenerius Streets. I always screw up his first name. Streets appeared in all of San Francisco's 20 games appeared in all of the San Francisco 20 games in 2021 with 2 starts and notched 3 sacks, 5 quarterback hits, 24 tackles, 6 for loss, and a forced fumble. All career high. What's your guys' thought on Streets? Do you think there'll be a market for him out there? Or do you think the Niners can bring him back on a friendly deal, on a continue to prove it deal? Or do you think that what he did this year was enough to get him paid somewhere maybe like in New York with the Jets? Personally, I think I think the Jets are going to try to pursue DJ Jones heavily. I hope I'm wrong, but I think Robert Saleh really likes DJ Jones. But I'm hope that I'm wrong. Google account. I always trip out by that name. Yep, first TD for Trey was Trent. Okay, thank you for verifying that for me. Appreciate that, brother. That's what I thought. So to Niner Faithful, reminding me that there is chemistry between Trent and Sherfield. But now that, and you got to understand too, there was chemistry between them two. Now, this is another thing to kind of notice too, though. Excuse me. The reason why there was a lot of chemistry between them both is because they were both backups and they worked with each other more. Jimmy took a lot of the reps with Debo and Brandon Ayuk. So I understand why there was more rapport with Trent Sherfield. And I'm not taking anything away from that, but do you think with a whole offseason, knowing that he's going to be the starter, he starts working out with Debo and Brandon Ayuk and Kittle, and then there's training camp, there's mini camp, he goes through all the OTAs, he goes through all the progressions. Then by September, the chemistry between himself and Debo and Brandon Ayuk will be there. But I'm not opposed of bringing back Trent Sherfield on a real friendly team contract as a fifth receiver. Seth, how you doing, Seth? Welcome to the stream. Make sure to hit the like button for me. When will the Niners play the Raiders in Vegas? I know it's it's an away game. The dates are not released yet. They don't get released until a little bit before the draft, if I'm not mistaken, or after. I got to remember. But we do play the Raiders in 2022, and we do play them in Vegas. When exactly, I don't know. That hasn't been released yet, Seth. That will have to be determined later because nobody really knows when they're playing them. Wouldn't it be nice if it's a primetime game? That'll be nice. Beat the Raiders in prime time. Why not, right? Trey even hits Trent for a TD on that long bomb in the preseason. Yeah, but that's preseason. I don't put too much in preseason whatsoever. Defenders are not going at it. You know what I mean? They're not really defending. They're not really trying to get to the quarterback, you know. And again, Jimmy G with the ones, Trent was a lot with the twos, and that meant the connection with Trent. Trey to Trent. So, but I expect with the whole offseason and OTAs and minicamp, I expect the Trey to develop chemistry with Brandon Ayuk and Debo and Kittle. So I don't think Trey, even if the Niners sign him, I don't think Trey will see the field that much. That's just my personal thought. Unless a player gets hurt, and I don't want that to happen. So I don't expect to see Trent, even if we do bring him back, to sign. So now, this particular player, I talked about him in the beginning of the show. I think it's very vital that we bring this guy. This gentleman should be our first priority this offseason in free agency. I don't want to hear about nobody else but this gentleman. Now, with that said, I am questioning whether should we overpay him because of what he represents at the position that he plays for us. Do we not overpay him and let him go? But this kid is going to demand 12 to 13 mil a year. And we know that Miami is sitting there with 63 million. And we know that Mike McDaniel went and now is the head coach there. But the player, you guys already know who I'm talking about, Lincoln Thomason, earning his first career Pro Bowl appearance. The durable veteran left guard appeared in every offensive snap for the Niners in 2021, and in part with left tackle Trent Williams, was a steward along San Francisco offensive line. Pre-Pro Football Focus, he earned his second consecutive overall grade of above 75 and a much improved career best of 75.2 pass blocking grade in 2021. Let's keep it real, man. This guy's not coming back on a team-friendly contract. This guy's not going to give a Niners a discount. He's not. This is probably going to be his only best contract that Trent is going to get at his age. Excuse me, Lincoln. This is going to probably be his best contract at his age that he's going to get. I do not expect Lincoln to take a discount to the Niners because he loves the Niners. He has a family. He has security that he needs to provide. I know that Miami is going to come strong at him. I know that if the Niners give him, let's say Miami offers him 16, which I doubt it, but let's say Miami offers him 14, and we offer him 12 and a half or 13, I can see him re-signing with the Niners because to him that is respectable and decent, and he'll come back. But if Miami offers him 14, and we try to get cute by offering 9 to 10, he's gone. Could the Niners afford to get cute with Lincoln? Let me know in the comments below. Is this a player at this point in his career worth overpaying? Because not that he's not worth it, but anything over 10 million is overpaying for Lincoln. For us, we're going to have to pay him at least 12 to 13 to retain his services. Should the Niners do that? Should they just let him go and maybe move Aaron Banks back to his natural position out of Notre Dame, which is left guard? And hopefully, Aaron Banks struggled, but his struggles were trying to adjust as right guard. And a lot of people may say, wait a minute, if he's a left guard playing right, he's an offensive player, it should not be a problem. It's not true. How many of you are left-handed or right-handed and you try to write with the opposite hand? It's not easy. Can it be done? Eventually. But if you're right-handed and you try to just start writing on your left, you know how to spell, you know how to write. Just because you know how to do it with your right doesn't mean you're going to be successful with your left. If you're a lefty, doesn't mean you're going to be successful on your right. With that said, just because Aaron Banks played left tackle left guard, doesn't mean he was good or was able to adjust as a right guard. And maybe that's why he struggled, and maybe that's why he didn't play this offseason or this 2021 season. But maybe if we lose Lincoln and we move Aaron Banks back to his natural position, he was taken high in the second round, so he has to be good guard. Do you think that Aaron Banks can handle that and play up to par there? Let me know in the comments. Interested in knowing that. Let's see what the questions. Do you know about the Patriots coach? Are you referring Bill Belichick, who's the coach now, or are you referring about the coach that left the Patriots and went over to the Raiders and Mike McDaniels? Are you referring to Mike McDaniels, Seth, or are you talking about Bill Belichick? But what if he goes to the Patriots? I don't see Lincoln Thomason going to the Patriots. Personally, I think it'll definitely be Miami. It could be Miami or Cincinnati. It can be either Cincinnati or Miami, where they could go pursue. I'm not saying the other teams won't pursue Lincoln, but I can see Miami and Cincinnati kind of go after his services. So, again, do we let him walk and just hope that Aaron Banks at his natural position, left guard, can just handle his business, and we focus on bringing in, maybe drafting a right guard? Or should we try to bring back Lincoln, even if we have to overpay for his services? because in order for us to bring him back, we're going to have to overpay. I just don't see no other way other than overpaying for his services. Do you? Do you see us overpaying for Lincoln? I'm curious to see your thoughts on that. I'm going to talk about a few more players, and then I'm going to call this a day. I appreciate you guys hanging in there with me. Wow, it's been an hour already. My goodness. I am definitely not tired. That's for sure. Do me a favor, guys. Make sure to smash that like button for me and share my video. I'm trying to continue to grow my podcast here on YouTube. I appreciate what you can do for me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, finishing this up. Safety, Jaworski Tart. We talked a little bit about him, and I want to get your thoughts on him. I mentioned earlier about how Emmanuel Mosley's kind of a vet in the corner, but we are dealing with Avery Thomas, who is not going to be a rookie, but he's going to be he's a young player developing in that spot. We have Lenore probably moving inside to replace K'Wan Williams. We need veteran in our backfield, and I think having Tart and Ward back there would help out a lot with the young man in the front. So I would hope they bring him back. I don't expect the market to be that high for Tart. I could be wrong. But if he does come back, I think it'll be great for us to bring him back. He plays very well with the Jimmy Ward. Yes, I'm not even mad at him I wish he would have caught that interception. And let's keep it real. There's no guarantee we would have won that game if he would have caught that interception. Now, he would have gave us better odds because remember, he missed that plane interception that hit him in the chest, right? He missed it. Then the Rams went ahead and scored 7 points from after when they got the ball back. So if he would have intercepted that ball, if anything else, we would have taken away 7 points from the Rams, right? But imagine playing in the biggest game of your life other than the Super Bowl. The ball's up in the air. Nobody's around you. Even though it happened in real time and it happened really fast, I can only imagine this kid looking at the ball and probably saying to himself, oh my God, don't drop it, don't drop it, don't drop it. And man, just hit him in the chest, bounced off, and he drops it. Devastating drop. But if it wasn't for Tart, I don't think we would have been in the NFC Championship game. Because if you look at the tape against the Green Bay Packers, he was a huge factor in that secondary to help us get to where we got past the Packers. So I am for bringing him back. Tart appeared in 14 regular season games and 3 postseason contests. Per PFF, the veteran safety earned a 5th straight grade above 60. Is 60 good? I mean, I like it in the 70 to 75 range, preferably 80 myself, but I'll take 60 from him. I just love the way that he pairs up with Jimmy back there. And remember, we're going to have Avery Thomas for the full year, but he's still a youngster learning. Most likely, we're going to lose the veteran of K'Wan. We're going to have Lenore there. 2 youngsters. I don't know if we're going to bring Jason Verrett back. We're going to talk about him in a minute. So I think the smart thing to do is to keep the safeties together, in my opinion. Let's see here. What's up, brand new? How you doing, sir? Welcome to the stream. Niner sickness is the truth. Well, I appreciate that. I don't know about all that, but thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Ruben Smith, how you doing, sir? Welcome to the stream. Resign both of them. I agree. And I think by both of them, are you referring to K1 Williams and Tart? Also, if you're not a follower of myself here on the Niner Sickness podcast, feel free to subscribe and like the video. I appreciate it, man. Playboy Loco. What's up? What's up, Beto? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Ruben Smith says, is the rumor true that Jimmy G is staying with the Niners? The key word, rumor. Got to keep that in mind, Ruben. At this stage of the season, in this offseason, rumors are going to be flying everywhere. This rumor, that rumor. Remember last year when we moved from the 12th spot to the 3rd pick in the first round when we traded with Miami? At that point, the rumors started flying in. They started flooding in. Mac Jones. Oh my goodness, I couldn't have enough of it. Mac Jones to the Niners. Mac Jones to the Niners. Even Kyle Shanahan's friend Chris Sims, who supposedly knows Kyle very well, right? Chris Sims says, knowing Kyle and the type of quarterback that Kyle likes, I can't see it not being Mac Jones. Everybody and their mamas, Mac Jones. Well, draft day, the Niners went up to the podium. The Commissioner Goodell read the card. And guess what? It wasn't Mac Jones, right? It was Trey Lance. And a lot of you, and myself included, were like, whew, thank you, Jesus, that it wasn't Mac Jones. And I don't care what Mac Jones did this year with New England. I don't care if he played well or not. And Trey Lance, if he becomes the player that I think he will be, he is going to be way better than Mac Jones will ever be, in my opinion. If you heard Kyle Shanahan speak last offseason, and you listen to the little nuggets that Kyle Shanahan says, the type of prototype quarterback that he always wanted, that he spoke of. He made a couple of comparisons. I forgot who the quarterback was, but he made a comparison of a quarterback with an arm and a quarterback with the legs, right? Well, that wasn't Mac Jones. Maybe a little bit with the arm, but definitely not with the legs, right? So for the media and all the so-called experts, all the talking heads to start saying it was Mac Jones to the Niners, I mean, people were just eating it alive. And it happened to be Trey Lance. With that said, Ruben, rumors are just rumors. Until it happens, and that's all it is. Now, is it a possibility? Of course, it is. Even if we don't want to hear it, it is a possibility. Is Trey really not that ready? Because you got to remember, I'm going to get this clear. I want Trey Lance to start. I want this to be the Trey Lance season. I am for Trey Lance. But if Trey Lance, because he only played 1 year, he was redshirted his first year. He played a second year. His third year, he didn't get to play because of COVID. He only played one game. No fault of his own. he hasn't had that much playing time, right? So, would it be really unrealistic to say that they might think about bringing Jimmy G back one more year? And again, if they bring Jimmy G back this year, me personally, I don't believe it's a knock on Trey. A lot of people might say, well, if they bring Jimmy, that means they're giving up on Trey. Not necessarily. That is ludicrous to me. If they keep Jimmy one more year this year, they have given up on Trey. Have they really? Trey hasn't played that much football. Trey is still learning and still developing. If that is the case, and they do keep Jimmy, or they do bring Tom for 1 year, which I don't think Tom is coming, but I don't think it's necessarily a knock on Trey. But with that said, personally, I believe that Trey is going to be ready, the best that he's going to be at the beginning. Remember, last offseason, not only did he start late coming from the draft, but it was Jimmy's team, right? Jimmy had the whole offseason. This is going to be Trey Lance's first offseason with the team. You can never count the year of the draft. So this is going to be his first whole complete offseason with the team. He's going to be able to work out. What Trey Lance looked like in November, the last time he played, and what he's going to look like in September is going to be a lot different. He's going to be able to get a rapport with Debo, with Ayuk, Kittle. He's going to go into the OTAs, go into minicamp, play preseason games with these players. So, I mean, was Jimmy got the ball out of his hands quick. I admit. Jimmy had a quick release, right? Jimmy had a quick release, and the immediate throws within 10 yards, Jimmy was pretty, especially down the middle, he was pretty accurate. But was Jimmy that good that you can't see Trey doing some of that things that Jimmy did? I don't think Jimmy was that spectacular. It's not like Trey's coming in and replacing Aaron Rodgers. That's a big drop, in my opinion. You lose Aaron Rodgers to retirement, or Aaron Rodgers leaves, for example, and then you bring in Trey. Yep, I can see that being a drop. But is it a big drop from Jimmy Garoppolo to Trey? I don't think so. Some of you may think so. I don't think so. Is Trey going to make rookie mistakes? Yes, of course. But I think there'll be plays that he's going to get out. Now, the question is this. Kyle Shanahan loves to run his system. Kyle Shanahan is infatuated with running his plays. You got to run his plays the way he wants it. If you watch any of Kansas City games with Andy Reid as a coach, Andy Reid is another coach that loves his quarterback to run plays the way he designs them. He is obsessed with it. When Patrick Mahomes, and I'm not comparing Trey to Patrick Mahomes, but I want to say when Patrick Mahomes took over for Alex Smith, and a lot of times with those plays that Andy Reid called in broke down, Patrick Mahomes improvised and went out of the box and made his own plays. And I guarantee you that drove Andy Reid crazy. It drove him crazy. But it worked. He was able to, if his first read wasn't there, he was able to make adjustments depending on what the defense was showing and get a first down. And as the season went on, the first year, between Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, a relationship, a trust developed. So now, Andy Reid calls in his place, but he understands that there'll be times where Mahomes will scramble and improvise. That's what I see in Trey. I see Trey giving Kyle Shanahan fits. Get ready for that. He's going to give Kyle Shanahan fits. Kyle Shanahan is going to be like, that's not the play that I called. But Trey's going to improvise. He's going to scramble. And he's going to get the job done. It's going to take a minute for Kyle to accept that and develop that relationship between Trey, and Kyle. Once that relationship, that bond is established, this marriage between Trey and Kyle Shanahan is going to be a beauty to watch. Let me tell you, it's going to be a beautiful thing to watch. But there's going to be bumps and bruises. Trey's going to give Kyle fits. But I think they'll come to a common ground where Kyle's going to begin to trust Trey more and more and more. And that's going to be the beautiful thing of this relationship, in my opinion. Juanito is in the house. How you doing, Juanito? If the Niners can't trade for a good deal, I can see them keeping Jimmy instead of cutting him. Yeah, I agree. I don't want that to happen. I think, Juanito, let me get back to your question real quick, and I'll get back to Jay's in a minute. I think they're going to find a suitor for Jimmy. I don't know what's going to happen with Deshaun Watson with his whole legal situation. I don't think Russell Wilson is really going to leave Seattle. I would love him to leave Seattle, but I don't see it happening. Aaron Rodgers might move to the AFC, to the Broncos, probably. And Tom Brady retired, right? So if only one quarterback gets moved, which is Aaron Rodgers, and if Aaron Rodgers stays put, even better, the market for Jimmy G is going to be higher. And there's going to be teams that are going to have to overpay for the chance to get Jimmy. Now, what they give for Jimmy, is Jimmy worth it? Probably not. But we're looking, see, we as 49er fans, especially those that don't like Jimmy, cannot comprehend a first round for Jimmy, right? Niner sickness, you're crazy. There ain't nobody giving a first round for Jimmy. You're basing that assumption on the way he played in 2021, right? But one thing we can agree to disagree if you don't want to is Jimmy can win. Jimmy wins games. Yeah, does he or does he not win games? Jimmy wins games. And even though he throws some interceptions that you don't like, Jimmy can win you games. And we look at things as fans. There are GMs and coaches that I guarantee you do not see Jimmy the way we do. If the options are not plentiful, if there's not that many options out there, and if there are more than if there are more than 2 to 3 teams bidding for Jimmy, let's say the Steelers, the Washington Commanders, the Broncos, and whatever other team out there, the Browns maybe, that want a quarterback. Now they might have to give up a first to get Jimmy, not because Jimmy is worth a first, but because they don't want to lose Jimmy to another team. See, we look at it as like Jimmy's not worth a first, and he's probably not. And I'm not saying we're going to get a first, we'll probably get a high 2 or 2, but my point being is I can see a team overpaying for Jimmy because there's other teams that want his services. Now, if there's only one, let's say the only team that wanted him is Washington. That's the only team that wants him. Well, now it's going to be hard to get a first out of Washington, right? It'll be hard to get a second from Washington. Either we sign him or we don't. But if you have the Broncos, if you have the Browns, for example, if you have other teams out there that want his services, now a team like Washington says, man, he's not worth a 1, but if we don't offer a 1, we may lose him to the Broncos for a higher 2, for example. And this is why I can see Jimmy going. He's too expensive. However, I think that they have already cut ties. Seems to me Jimmy already said his farewells. Yeah, he did. And publicly, right? He said it. And what really gave it away to me is when he started thanking. That's just Jimmy being Jimmy, right, Jay? Jimmy's very respectful, loving. Everybody loves him. He was talking to all the reporters that he developed a relationship throughout the years, right? He specifically told a lot of the reporters, thank you. And I mean, the writing's on the wall. Let's be real. The writing's on the wall. The whole fact that he might stay behind. And again, and just to clarify, when Adam Schefter said that he wouldn't be surprised, or I'm not going to quote him. I don't even remember what he said, but to quote him. But to the ballpark of, he wouldn't be shocked if they don't trade Jimmy. He wasn't reporting it. This is what a lot of Niners faithful have to understand. He wasn't reporting that information. He was just addressing his opinion. There is a difference when he says what I think they're going to do separate from this is what I'm hearing and I'm reporting. He wasn't hearing stuff and reporting it. He was just speculating as a person and saying, this is what I think. So you can't take the, even though Adam is respectful out there, he's well respected. Just because his name is attached to it doesn't mean that it's true, especially when he's not reporting it. He's just saying, if it was me, this is what I think is going to happen. So you got to take it for a grain of salt when you hear stuff like this, especially during this time of the year. Ruben says, reminds me of Montana and Young. What's going on with the Niners? Yes and no. Steve Young replacing a Hall of Fame 4-time Super Bowl Joe Montana was kind of hard to grasp, right? Here's a young quarterback and Steve Young that struggled in the beginning of his career. He's now have to fill in the shoes of a 4-time Super Bowl in Joe Montana. Are Jimmy G's shoes really that big? Are they really that big? You know what I mean? Trey's like, I can fill those shoes. I can do it. Now, if Trey was replacing an Aaron Rodgers, if he was replacing Joe Montana himself, that's a different story in my opinion. But he's just, and again, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to Jimmy. I love Jimmy. I respect Jimmy. I thank Jimmy for his services. But let's keep it real. There's no way Trey's replacing a big shoes in Jimmy. Iggy, I don't know who that person is. He's gonna be butthurt when Trey breaks out and scrambles. Oh, you're talking about Kyle? Absolutely, yeah. I'm telling you, if you think that Kyle Shanahan has gray hairs now, have you seen pictures of him when he first took over in 2017 and pictures of him today? You think that he aged 20 years, right? Well, Kyle, get ready to age another 20 in about 1.5 to 2 years. Because Brett Favre was, okay, Mike Holmgren is another good example. Mike Holmgren was another coach that was, it's my plays, you do what I say, you run my plays, this is how you win. You run my place. He was like, man, he was persistent. Brett Favre came along and changed a lot back there. Brett Favre was a wild gunslinger out there, and I'm pretty sure he drove Mike Holmgren nuts. But a lot of those plays, he made it work. And it had to come to a point where Mike Holmgren said, like, all right, I hear you. I see you, man. I see you. Let's see what you got. And he built a rapport with Holmgren. I expected the same thing to happen with Trey and Kyle, in my opinion. Oops, I went backwards. Excuse me. Trey kind of reminds me of Young, how the way he can throw and move around and run. Now, keep in mind, Steve Young was a runner that became a passer. Bill Walsh had to really teach Young how to pass. A lot of people have the misconception that Trey is a runner. He's not a runner. Let me be clear on that. He's not a pure runner. He is in the pocket passer. Trey is going to 90% of the time, 95% of the time, is going to see if he can pass the ball. He's going to use his legs to get out of bad situations. But his mind is to pass the ball purely. And if things break down, coverages break down, he will improvise with his legs. If you watch Trey run in the 2.5 games that he played this year, I don't know if you guys remember what's the name of that quarterback for the Texans? Was it the Texans or the Titans? I think the Titans. He passed away. I think his girlfriend shot him or something like that. I can't think of his name. Number 9 for the Tennessee Titans. McNair. Steve McNair. There you go. Remember Steve McNair? Steve McNair couldn't run. Lamar Jackson can run. Lamar Jackson is a quarterback that can run like a receiver. Lamar Jackson wants to run. He can pass. He's getting better at passing, but he wants to run. Trey Lance is more of a passer, and then he improvises with his legs. And Steve Young was first a runner. And me personally, I haven't seen enough of Trey running that I don't want to disrespect. No disrespect to you, Ruben, but I don't want to disrespect Steve Young because Steve Young was a way better runner than Trey. Could Trey get there? Possibly. But Trey is definitely a passer first and a runner, not even a runner, just have the ability to run and extend plays with his legs. Tony Smith, good morning, sir. Welcome to the stream. Hello, Niner Empire. How's it going today? Let's go, Niners. Welcome to the show, brother. Bip-Bop Jones says, amen. He wants to dedicate each play call. He wants to, Kyle Shanahan is a perfectionist to the T, man. In his mind, you win strictly by following my plays. The whole thing with Brandon Ayuk. Now, Brandon Ayuk is a good receiver. But Brandon Ayuk wasn't exactly. Kyle Shanahan said it himself. Was it not last year, the year before? Remember when Brandon Ayuk was drafted, he came onto the scene because he had to, and he had a decent season. And a lot of us were like, oh my God, Brandon Ayuk was a great pick, which he was. But we were projecting a breakout year, right? We were projecting a breakout year in 2021. But Kyle said that if it wasn't because of the injuries that took place and he was forced to play Brandon Ayuk, he wouldn't play Brandon Ayuk at all because Brandon Ayuk was not learning his plays. And then you've seen Brandon Ayuk struggle mightily in the start of this season, right? You've seen him struggle. And people are like, man, is he in the doghouse? Is he in the doghouse? What's going on? But something clicked, finally clicked in Ayuk's head. And he started to run Kyle's scheme. And you saw him get the ball more and more and more. Now, that's a receiver. I see a little bit different in quarterback. I can see Kyle not liking it, but I can see him give him a little bit of push and allowing Trey to be Trey. But that marriage has to work between Trey and Kyle before we see successful games. But let me tell you guys, when it does, the Niners are going to be a team to watch out for in the NFC. In the AFC, you have a lot of good young quarterbacks going against each other. You have Josh Allen's, you have the Lamar Jacksons, you have the Patrick Mahomes, you have the kid from the Cincinnati. Now, you got and then you got Herbert from the Chargers. You got all these young quarterbacks playing very good in the AFC. Who do you really have in the NFC? Russell Wilson, Tom Brady, and Aaron Rodgers. Well, Tom Brady retired, right? Kyle Murray, what's his name from the Rams? You know what I mean? If Trey becomes that player that we think he will become, it's going to be fun to watch him play football years to come, man. I heard that Tom Brady might be talking with the Niners, and how much is that true? Again, I'll say it once and I'll say it again. Rumors. This time of the year, you're going to hear rumors flying across the board. This is happening. That's happening. Until we can see it manifest and you hear it from the horse's mouth, they're just rumors. I don't care. Again, I don't care which expert says what. A lot of those same experts almost guaranteed that it was going to be Mac Jones at quarterback. Even Chris Sims, who's really close to Kyle Shanahan, who played college with him, thought it was going to be Mac Jones. And it wasn't. So you got to take it with a grain of salt at this time of the year, man. They're just rumors. Has Tom Brady officially retired? No. But just because he officially hasn't retired does not mean that he's going to come to the Niners. I can see him going back to Tampa Bay one more year much easier than coming to the Niners, in my opinion. It makes no sense to keep Jimmy if they can't trade him. If we keep him, we're going to, I think personally, if they keep Jimmy, they're going to restructure his contract. I just don't see Jimmy. I don't see Jimmy coming back. I really do. I really believe there's going to be a suitor for Jimmy. Jimmy's going to get traded. And remember, the combine is starting this next week. There's going to be a lot of chatter. All the GMs, all the head coaches are going to be there at the combine. They're going to talk amongst themselves. And believe it or not, a lot of the trades on a handshake happen at the combine. That's where trades happen. Now, it may get leaked out, and that's how we hear it. But trades happen during the combine week, and it can be done until the new football league year starts, which I think is the 16th of March. So we're just going to have to wait and see. We got in what we paid out of him. Two NFCs, and one Super Bowl. Second and third pick, maybe. That's a very good point, Jay. Very good point. Even if we get a second, what we gave up, we got 2 NFC championship games and a Super Bowl. I like that point there, Jay. Yeah, I mean, think about his damaging his confidence. Right now, again, I think if they keep Jimmy, it's not a knock on Trey. I don't think Trey's a bust. I don't think Trey's, oh my God, all of a suddenly was Trey the right choice. People panic, man. I don't know why people panic. If they do bring in someone else or they decide to keep Jimmy, that does not mean Trey was not the right choice. It just means that he has to go a little bit further than they originally anticipated. That's all. I don't think that's the case. I think he's going to be ready and he's going to start. But if he doesn't start because they keep Jimmy, it's not because it's a mark on Trey. It's more that Trey hasn't played a lot, and that's understandable. But it's not because Trey is not the right choice or God forbid people call him a bust, or I don't know how you can call somebody a bust that hasn't really played but 2.5 games. Put everything in the basket and cater to Trey. Yeah. And this is the thing too, Jay. With the whole offseason, they're going to cater to Trey. Kyle Shanahan is going to develop and plays for Trey. Last year, it was Jimmy G, right? It was Jimmy G. And then, unfortunately, with the pressure of drafting giving up 3 number ones and a third to eventually move from the 12th to the 3rd spot, there was a lot of pressure on Kyle Shanahan to start Trey. And the whole take out Jimmy, put in Trey, take out Trey, put in Jimmy. I never liked that. I was never for that. Never. It doesn't work in this NFL. It just doesn't. Especially when you have 2 different styles of quarterback. You got Jimmy G style and you have Trey style, which are completely different. And that, my friends, is truly unfair to the offensive line. How many penalties did the Niners offensive line have against Arizona? You know why? Because their anticipation of how the offense works was built around Jimmy. Now they had to adjust on the fly for Trey. Now you notice there was less penalties against the Texans than there were against Arizona with that offensive line. So the whole idea is bringing in Jimmy, taking out Jimmy, putting in Trey, taking out Trey. I didn't like that. And obviously Kyle, we were losing games. Kyle got out of his system, the way he likes to run the ball first, play good defense. He got out of that. He tried to do something new, and it backfired. And we went up being 3-5. And I think that game that we lost against Arizona when we got blown out at home, to me personally, I think it was a rude awakening for Kyle. Because it felt like at that point, Kyle decided, we're just going to go with Jimmy, period. And they got back to what the bread and butter worked. They got back to running the ball, stopping the run, and playing good defense. And eventually we were able to crawl out of the 3-5. And as you all saw, we went to the NFC Championship. I think if Jimmy's thumb wasn't hurt, I think we would have had a better game against the Rams personally. But you got to remember, we played the Rams. Then he got hurt against the Rams. He had to play against the Cowboys. The thumb didn't get better. Then he went and played in that cold weather against Green Bay. Those 2 games had to take a toll on his thumb. And it was just too much for the NFC Championship, personally. Jimmy G shoes are not that big. He's easy. He can be easily replaced. Absolutely. Yeah, Steve McNair. Would like to see Davante Adams on the Niners next season. Hopefully it could happen. No, it's not going to happen, Ruben. It won't happen, bro. It just, I don't want to be Debbie Downer. I don't want to be Debbie Downer. I don't want to be the guy who says, "Oh my God, what Niners he don't want." No, I would love to see Davante Adams catch ball from Trey. But I'm realistic, bro. I am realistic. The money that he's gonna demand is too high, especially like even as good as. And I'm not comparing him to Debo or Debo to him, but we know what we have in Debo, right? I just don't see the Niners paying more money for Adams and not signing Debo. You see what I'm saying? So that money is going to go to Debo and possibly Bosa. This is a reason why I can't see Davante Adams coming to the Niners. And some people told me, imagine if we brought Aaron Rodgers and Davante. The key word is imagine. That's all it is. Imagine. Because it won't happen. There's no way we can afford Davante Adams by himself, much less paying $46 million to Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, it's just the idea of it sounds nice, but being realistic, knowing that we don't have the cap space, it's just not a possibility. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys, yeah, man, that's a possibility. It's not. There's just no way. It's like 1%. And people say, well, as long as there's 1%, well, I think it's 0% that he'll come to the Niners, period. It's just too much money, man. But anyways, it has been almost 2 hours. Oh, my goodness. I did not realize I was going to be on here this long, especially coming on early in the morning. I usually come in the evening. It definitely was fun. A lot of you guys popped up on here and kept me busy with questions. You guys are awesome. We can draft another. Absolutely. Listen, not with a 61 overall. I think the Niners, as much as we don't want to hear it, I think they go O-line, defensive line, or offensive line with a 61 pick. I don't even think they go corner. The Niners do not covenant corners as much as they should. They just don't. They'd rather have safeties and keep everything in the middle than the outsides. History shows itself. They just don't covenant corners as other teams do. They'd rather put the priorities on offense or defense within the trenches. So I see the Niners taking a defensive end, if not an offensive tackle or guard. Now, with the 93 pick, if Christian Watson is still there out of Basin, Trey Lance's receiver, if he's there at 93, I think the Niners pull the trigger. I really do. You might say, well, we need corners. Yes, we do. But I think they can get a corner in the 4th round. I think they take a Christian. I don't think they'll take Christian with a 61 overall. I think they can, if he's there at 93, I can see the Niners pulling the trigger. Imagine a receiver like Christian Watson, Debo, Kittle, and Ayuk back there. OMG. All right, guys. With that said, I thank you for joining me. I appreciate you guys watching my show. Continue to make sure to hit the like button if you haven't done so already. Share my video. You guys have been amazing. Thank you for watching. Thank you for participating. Go Niners. And man, it's going to get funner. A lot. The way I like to say it's going to get gooder going forward. Things are going to start to heat up going forward. now that the combine is starting next week. But don't fall for no rumors. Remember, that's all they are. All right, guys. Let me read this last question before I go from my boy Tony Smith. I'm being truthful as a matter fan, and a lot of people are going to disagree with me, but I don't want Aaron Rodgers. It would mess up Trey Lance. I agree with you. I don't want Aaron Rodgers either. I really don't. Aaron Rodgers has lost 4 times in the playoffs to the Niners. Why do you want him? Because he's an MVP? Oh, that's a good reason. But I don't think he's coming. It's just too much money. So I agree with you, Tony. Watson's a beast. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Stephen Gilmore, let's go. That's a possibility, and we'll talk about that on another show. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. Julio, thank you for watching. Thank you for everything, man. You guys have a blessed day. Enjoy your Friday. Enjoy your weekend. And we'll see you on the next podcast. Peace. Let's go.